Welcome to the Manifestation Babe podcast. My name is Kathrin and I'm a manifestation expert, master mindset coach, and multiple seven-figure entrepreneur. I'm obsessed with helping you achieve everything that you once thought was impossible. If you're looking to massively up-level your life, your finances, your relationships, your productivity and success, then you have come to the right place. My goal in this podcast is to help you see the infinite potential within yourself to be, do, and have anything that your heart desires. Think of this podcast as your weekly dose of mindset development to help you maximize who you are and where you're going. Leave it to me to provide you with the tools, the resources, the strategies, and teachings that you need to manifest a reality wilder than your wildest dreams. I know we're about to have so much fun together, so thank you so much for pushing play today. And now let's begin. Hello, my beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Manifestation Babe podcast. Can you believe it? I'm back with another episode. I know I've been gone for so long, but I promise that tons of episodes are coming out for the remainder of this year. That I can promise you. So this is a topic by popular demand, how to surrender. As you can tell from the title, I know you clicked so fast because everyone always asks this question to me. Kathrin, how do I trust? How do I surrender? How do I let go? How do I stop worrying? And so I'm going to do my best to answer this question. I made a post last week, and it was something along the lines of, me being in Sedona and struggling with surrender, and how the deeper I go into my spiritual journey, the more painful it becomes to not surrender. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that, of course. So I instantly had lots of requests flooded into my DM inbox, the comment section. I mean, everybody wanted an episode on surrender. And I've talked about surrender, pretty much since the beginning of my podcast. So it is sprinkled throughout all the episodes. Somewhere I will share a little tidbit on how to surrender. But I just wanted to create like a specific episode so that you can always come back to this episode and get my tips and tricks. And really, it's just a perspective that I'm sharing with you. It's not so much a step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, because it's not about steps. It's about an energy that you embody. It's about an energy that you step into. It's a frequency that you take on, that you shift into, so that you can magnify the results that are on the other side of surrender. And here's the thing. It's hard for me to put this into words because it's really such a simple thing that, of course, we all resist, including myself. So I'm going to call myself out and say that even I struggle with surrender. But there's a perspective that I took on in 2016. So if you've been listening to the podcast for a while, if you've been following me for a while, you know my infamous 1-year experiment. This is something that I developed during that 1-year experiment, and it is something that I've embodied since then. And even when I slip, and even when I worry, or try to control an outcome, or I have a hard time trusting that whatever is happening is for my highest good, I always come back to this. And so I really thought that instead of sharing a bunch of random shit that you can do, like breathe, let go, or whatever the fuck, I wanted to share with you the most effective thing that's helped me, because I'm sure if it's helped me, it's going to help someone else out there too. So this question, how do I surrender, is very synonymous with how do I let go? And when going down a spiritual path, what we're really doing, because we have this thing called amnesia, because when we incarnate onto this planet and any other planet that you've incarnated onto in the past, because I know we're all star seeds here, I can guarantee that you're a star seed. Your origin is not human or from Earth. But that's a whole nother story. So when you incarnate, you take and I don't know the actual word for this, but the way I look at it is it's like the vow of amnesia. So you forget everything about who you truly are. You forget why you came here. You just forgot everything that you chose to experience from the moment you're born, even in the womb, and all of that good stuff. And so when you go down a spiritual path, you enter the land of the unknown. And really, it is coming back to what's always known. It's just that to your human self, to the ego, this is all unknown because it all has to do with what you vowed to forget, so that your journey on this planet is to remember who you truly are. And the thing is that when you're in the land of the unknown and in the unfamiliar, your ego flips the F out, because your ego is so conditioned to seek what's comfortable and seek what's familiar, not because that's like its thing. I mean, it is its thing, but because it wants to keep you safe. You have an ego to keep you here, tethered to the planet, tethered to your human body. And your ego really is in partnership with your higher self. Not many spiritual people talk about it from that perspective, but something that I do in my courses and my educational content is I teach my students how to be in partnership with your ego and how to love your ego and see it as something that's actually trying to help you. Because that's all it is. It's just trying to keep you safe. But the methodologies of how it's trying to keep you safe, of course, get in the way, right? If you're not careful, if you don't know what's going on, if you can't recognize what is your ego doing versus what is your higher self guiding you to, you can confuse them and then you can get misguided. And so there's a lot of unique tips and tricks that the ego takes on in order to keep you safe, in order to make you seek what's comfortable, what's familiar, and all of that good stuff. But here's the thing, what is safety? Safety is so relative. And a lot of people, they see their dream life, they see the unfamiliar and unknown as something that's unsafe because it's unfamiliar and unknown. But that's just your ego talking. Your dream life is safe. The unfamiliar is a safe place to go. The unknown is also safe because where you're really heading to as you embody your higher self is actually a very, very safe place because it's actually very familiar and very known to your soul. It's just unfamiliar and unknown to your ego. Okay. So it's just an illusion that it's not. And I have found that the deeper I go into my spiritual journey, the more and more unknown and unfamiliar everything becomes to my ego. And if I resist that and put my ego in charge to want to know everything and every detail and the timeline and the how and what is this teaching me exactly, and I have to know that it's going to work out before I embark on that journey, before I trust, I learn some very tough lessons. And I don't know about you, but the universe is putting us through a training ground when we come here. And the training ground is not like some military boot camp. Like it's not some authoritarian boot camp of like, I'm going to make you suffer because you are punished because you didn't learn a lesson. I don't see it that way. I really see the universe as like a relationship between parent and child. And I'm going to go further into that in just a second. But as you can imagine, the parent wants to teach their child how to, be of the world, how to be in the world. The parent wants to teach their child certain things. And if they're not learning, obviously a good parent is going to be very patient with that learning process. And they're going to deliver the lesson over and over and over again to their child, or they're just going to let life deliver the same lesson over and over and over to their child until they learn the lesson. And so that's what's happening in our relationship, in our co-creative relationship between us and the universe. The universe is going to teach us some lessons if we're not learning. And that's why I say that the deeper I go into my spiritual journey, the more painful it becomes to not surrender, is because the lesson of surrender keeps coming up and up and up and up and up and up until you learn how to surrender. So what is my mind trick that allowed me to let go of fear? Because here's the thing. Here's the root of why you're having trouble surrendering. The need to control everything is rooted in the energy of fear, and nothing good ever manifests in the energy of fear. And ego is constantly making decisions in the energy of fear. So as long as we are letting the ego be the boss of our life, we're going to stay in the energy of fear. We're going to have this constant need to control everything, and we're never going to be able to trust the higher purpose that's unfolding that we, of course, forgot when we incarnated here. And so by surrendering, we're allowing ourselves to remember. Okay, so how to surrender in your journey of manifesting your dream life. Here is the mind trick that allowed me to let go of fear and relax into surrender. Okay, before I share this example, I want you to just assume a very healthy relationship, okay, between parent and child. And this is important because I, for one, did not have the healthiest relationship with one of my parents. I didn't feel the safest as a child. There's a lot of trauma in my childhood. So of course, I can easily be like, this example doesn't work for me. But when I think about this example, I definitely assume a very healthy relationship between parent and child before I go on further. A relationship where there's immense unconditional trust between parent and child. There's no abandonment. There's a very healthy attachment style. You get the point. Okay, so let's just assume that before we go on, because I know as if I don't give you that disclaimer, I know some of you are going to be like, but Kathrin, some people aren't lucky enough to have relationships like that. Yeah, of course. You know, some of us have very traumatic things that happen in our childhood. We don't get our needs met by our parents, even when we're infants. You know, some of us are born to parents with addictions and, you know, mental illnesses and all this stuff. Of course, I totally get that. Okay, just my quick disclaimer. So assuming a very healthy relationship, see the universe the same way that an infant sees their parents. So this is what I did in 2016. I decided to be the child in the relationship, and not in like an immature way, just a very, very healthy, mature way, okay? There is unconditional trust. The way that an infant sees their parents when they're born, infants, if you ever look at them, they're never worried that their needs are not going to be taken care of. They're never worried. There's not a single drop of fear that they're going to be abandoned, that they're going to be forgotten, that they're going to be neglected. Like, think about it. An infant comes out of the womb, right? And then they have this immense trust that someone outside of them is going to be able to tune into and tap into all of their needs, feed them, bathe them, clothe them, play with them, talk to them, all of these things that is required for them to survive. They have this unconditional trust. And so recognizing that, I decided to embody the relationship, the same relationship with the universe, where I decided to see the universe as my new parent. Okay? The universe is now your new parent or parents, or however you want to see it, that you can put all your burdens onto their shoulders instead of your own shoulders. Think about it. Parents are worried for themselves and their child. The child is not worried about a goddamn thing. So the universe is really here to support you, and the universe is here to support you unconditionally. Even if you shit your pants, you still get supported. If you throw up on your mom or dad, they're still going to unconditionally support you. If you fuck up, if you make a mistake, you're still unconditionally supported. It's the exact same thing. You are a child of the universe. And there could be a lot of things that you might not understand why they're happening right now, but in the grand scheme of things, they are happening for your highest good. I just want to give you some examples. So as an infant, for example, you may want to play right now. So right now you're in the mood to play. But for some reason, mom or dad or a parent, caregiver, whomever is taking care of you, wants you to take a nap. And you're like, God damn. So you start crying and freaking out, like, why do I need to take a nap? I don't want to take a nap right now. I want to play. But the reason why your parents want you to take a nap right now is because they know that you're about to go on a play date with all of your favorite friends, and they don't want you to fall asleep when you get there. So you as an infant laying in that crib, having a tantrum because you want to play, you don't have the sight of the future that your parents know, that the universe knows, that you're about to go on a freaking play date with all of your favorite friends. And so you may think like, oh man, this is so unfair. I want to play. God damn. But you don't know that the play that's just around the corner is actually so much better than playing with the exact same toy that you've been playing with every single day this week. So your parents know that something better is around the corner. So they put you to sleep temporarily so that you have enough energy to be able to play with your friends. Or another example, I guess, is you may want to take a nap right now, but the universe wants you to eat right now. Your parent wants you to eat. And they want you to eat because they know that you're about to be left behind for a couple hours while they go, I don't know, to the movie theater on a date or whatever, with a babysitter for a few hours who doesn't have, milk coming out of their breasts and food from mom is not going to be available for a few hours. So you may be like, oh, I don't want to eat right now. I want to take a nap. But because you have such a limited viewpoint of your own needs, your parents know like, hey, just so you know, temporarily there's going to be a gap in the food source. And so it's actually for your highest good for you to eat right now, get your belly full. And then while we're gone, you get to take a nap. And as soon as you wake up, guess what? We're going to be home. And it's like we never left, right? So I know these sound kind of silly of like, just random examples that I can think of between like a parent and an infant. But my point here is that when you embody this relationship of unconditional trust, you understand that there is a force out there. There is the grand, supreme creator, being, God, universe, angels, whatever you want to call it, that has the telescopic viewpoint. It has the telescopic viewpoint to be able to see everything. Your entire life is in view. Your entire life is in view. While you, as a human with an ego, have the microscopic viewpoint. And so you're looking through a microscope and you only see what's happening right now in this moment, just right now. As I'm talking to you right now, you have the viewpoint of what is happening right now, and everything outside of that is just an assumption. It's a projection of an assumption of what should happen, needs to happen, right? Shouldn't have happened, couldn't have happened, is possible, is not possible, whatever it is. You're only seeing the now, while the universe has your entire life in view, knowing exactly when to deliver what you want and what you need in perfect timing. And it's only when we don't have this trust that we have a hard time surrendering. And I know you guys, it's easier said than done. A lot of people ask me, Kathrin, but how do I let go? Okay, if you're holding onto a backpack with a bunch of rocks in your backpack and you're climbing up a mountain knowing that it's actually harder to climb the mountain with this bag of rocks that you have in your back than not, how would you let go of the rocks? You would just take off the backpack, put it on the ground, and forget about it. And just trust that you don't need it, right? Especially if you're holding on to these rocks and you're struggling and you're struggling and you're struggling. And one day you realize those rocks were never your responsibility in the first place. They literally serve zero purpose to the purpose of you climbing a mountain. There is no need for you to carry these rocks to the top. And so often our fears and worries and doubts and frustration, we hold on to thinking that they're a necessary part of success, that they're a necessary part of us getting to where we want to go, that they're a necessary part of us manifesting our dream life, manifesting our desires, that they're, necessary part of having our vision board come alive, but it's not. It's literally a bag of rocks. So how would you let go of a bag of rocks? You would just take it off. It really is that simple. It really is that simple. And when you let it be this complex thing of like, I need the 10-step process of surrender, that's when you know that you are still in the energy of fear. You're still in the energy of doubt. You're still in that energy. And all you're going to do is create more of that energy in your life. So the deeper you go down the rabbit hole of not trusting and not surrendering, the harder and harder and harder and harder it becomes. So use this mind trick. I promise you. I mean, use whatever metaphor works for you, really. You don't have to take mine. But this is such a great metaphor that I remember every single time that I'm going through a life lesson that's so tough that I don't know why it's happening and I don't trust the timing. When I'm like, especially last week in Sedona, my soul really wanted to rest after creating MBA for 16 weeks straight. And I wanted to work. My ego wanted to create these podcasts, and my soul knew that I was not in the right energy for these podcasts. And if I were to create these podcasts for you guys from that energy, they would not impact you as much as they would when I'm creating from this fresh energy that I now sit in today, because I gave myself a week off. So it's exactly the same thing of like, I just want to eat, but the universe wants me to nap right now, right? And I don't trust. And the only thing that's giving me this pain is not trusting. So I'm curious, please take a screenshot right now of this episode, post it on your Insta stories, tag me at Manifestation Babe, and write in a message of how this episode impacted you. Go ahead and try this on. You'll never know if it works or doesn't work unless you try it on. So try it on. Embody this energy, draw this energy into your heart, into your body, reprogram your mind with this energy, develop new beliefs that will help you embody this energy, and just let me know how it works, and just feel the burdens literally coming off of your shoulders and envision yourself placing it onto the universe's shoulders, because there's no such thing as a burden to the universe. So you can give up whatever it is that you need to give up. You can ask for support for whatever it is that you need support with. There is no limitation, and all of it is unconditional. So tag me on the Insta stories. Let me know how it goes. Let me know your biggest breakthrough, aha moment, takeaway. Share this episode with anyone you feel called to share it with. I, of course, always appreciate your reviews. They mean the world to me when you leave them. And as a gift, just as a thank you so much for helping this podcast grow to the level it's grown today, and, sending me the energy, because that's how I receive energy from you guys, is through these shares, is through the reviews. When you guys leave them or send me feedback or anything like that, it inspires me to create more and more and more and more. So as a gift and as a huge thank you, as always, this has been an offer that's been around for a while, but just in case you're brand new or haven't heard about it in a long time or never took up on the offer, if you leave a review for the podcast, of course, I appreciate a 5-star review, but I appreciate more an honest review. And you take a screenshot of your review before you submit it, because once you submit it, it goes into the abyss for a few days, I think, while iTunes approves it. And so take a screenshot before, submit it, send the screenshot to hello@manifestationbabe.com. Again, that's hello@manifestationbabe.com. And we will send you back an awesome manifestation hypnosis that you can listen to with instructions on how to listen to it. And it'll help you reprogram your mind to be able to more easily and effortlessly manifest your dream life. So it's a win-win here. All right. I love you so freaking much. I can't wait to record the next episode already. So I will see you there. Mwah. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. If you absolutely loved what you heard today, be sure to share it with me by leaving a review on iTunes so that I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't already following me on social media, come soak up the extra inspiration on Instagram by following @ManifestationBabe or visiting my website at manifestationbabe.com. I love and adore you so much and can't wait to connect with you in the next episode. In the meantime, go out there and manifest some magic.